Hello guys, and today we have another review, and yes, this is the first review I'm doing with the mic. The mic with the cable, I still have to figure that out, but we're doing with that, you'll have to manage with this cable around. Yep, not the best thing, but it is there. Now, today we'll be reviewing the Eaglepoint, or the Nerf sniper that uses a cylinder. So it's a sniper revolver. Yeah, let's talk about it, but before that, roll the intro. So, the Nerf Elite 2.0 Eaglepoint is a second line or a second run of the Elite 2.0 lineup. It was released in 2021, I believe, and it is a decent blaster. Now, because it wasn't the first wave of Elite 2.0 blasters, you can open it and you can fix it. Now let's talk about some base features and I'll get into the actual review. It's a revolver fed or a cylinder fed bolt action spring primed blaster that costs around 20 to 30 euro or dollars. Conversion is pretty similar. Now let's get into the actual review. At the front we have an end-strike barrel lock behind or within this barrel, which is an attachment which we'll be going over a bit later. Then at the top we have an end-strike rail with the scope on it, which we'll be also talking about later. And then we have the base blaster that you can put end-strike barrels and end-strike tactical attachments. Now it does have two rails, one at the top and one on the bottom, and it has one end-strike barrel lock, no stock attachment point. At the front it also has a cylinder, which is an 8-dart cylinder that rotates counterclockwise, which is standard and is really good for right-handed people because you'll be loading from this side, which will be rotating there. It rotates when you actually fire it. And the prime is pretty smooth. It feels great and it is pretty easy. Now there is a slight problem, but I'll talk about that later. As you can see, I removed one of the bolts, which is the part of the problem, but I'll talk about it later. I do have one on the other side. You can remove them whenever you want. It is pretty easy. And you can just remove them. But again, I'll talk about why I removed the other one later. When you prime it, it has a spring catch or a release, a release, and it just springs back. Pretty cool. When you fire it, you of course rotate the blaster, you shoot the dart, but the trigger has a leaf spring, but it also does have some give. Like, look at this. You can move it like that when it's, when it's primed you can move it a little bit, making it feel a bit worse, but the trigger overall is pretty good. This blaster also has slam fire, which is when you hold down the trigger and then you prime. And it automatically fires, making your rate of fire a bit faster. So yeah, I don't think I would use this on a bolt action blaster, but it's decent and it's good to have. Now, one problem about this is connected to the problem which I'll talk about later, so stay in the video for that. I'll talk that into my conclusion after the firing test. Now down to the grip. The grip is okay. For a thumbhole stock grip, it's actually it's a pretty good grip. Even though if you don't like thumbhole stocks, then it's gonna be a bit less comfy, but I actually like thumbhole stocks. Yeah, I'm probably a maniac for saying that, but I like it. Only thing is the texturing of this black piece is a bit rough. I don't really like it on my fingers, but it's not the worst, it's not a heavy blaster. Down to the thumb hole stock. Yes, this is a little bit of a bar, but it's pretty rounded up and it is pretty thin, so plenty of space in there for your finger. Only problem actually with the grip is the small travel distance between the webbing part of your, or the thumb, or the where your webbing of your thumb goes, and the actual trigger. It's pretty short, making it feel a bit more small, but it's not a bad thing. It's better for small kids then. Down to the stock. The stock is actually pretty decent length. It is almost perfect, and it's pretty rounded out. It's not too slippery and it feels pretty nice. While there is no cheek rest, you can rest up here on the kind of sling attachment point. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is. It's probably just a sling attachment point, just a bit wider. But yeah, you can just put your face on there. It's not too uncomfy. Then at the stock we also have 8 dart storages, enough to fill your blaster once. And while they do hold your darts pretty well, they do also indent it. Not too bad, but I wouldn't use it all that much. Now let's go to the attachments. First to the barrel. The barrel is just a plain old orange barrel that actually has only the full barrel down to here. Everything else is just empty, which means it doesn't hinder performance very much. It also has anti-strike rail on the bottom and this part of the foregrip. I didn't really talk about the foregrip here because it's kind of split in half. The idea is that when you put it on, you hold it like right here. The problem is then your cylinder won't rotate, so you either hold it like this, which yeah, but I end up just holding it like this, so yeah, the foregrip is pretty much non-existent. Overall, this barrel isn't the best because it's just orange, but for some blasters like the Echo's angle at the front actually matches perfectly with this, so you can actually hold it pretty well. Yes, the foregrip part of this matches better with the Echo than with the Eaglepoint. Kind of a karma moment. Down to the scope, which is pretty cool. It looks like an ACOG futuristic style of scope, and has the cross actually at the front lens and not the rear one, like the Phoenix, which just makes you unable to look at it without being annoyed. It's actually really good. The only con this has is you cannot open it because it's just completely solvent and welded. And also, listen, that is the rear lens rattling. And just to show you, when I hold it, that's rattling, and then with my tummy, yeah, that is super annoying and I hate it. I hate your Hasbro. Yes, I could put some glue or stuff like that, but why? Why? It's not a big problem, but I hate Hasbro for doing it. Now let's check up on the dart that I left in my storage, or the other side. So I don't think you can see it all well, but there is a little divot of it here. So yeah, I think you can see it. It really matters on what type of screen you have. But yeah, now we'll go to the firing range. We're gonna fire it at my target, and then I'll talk about the conclusion and the actual problem I had with this blaster. Please do not click off, this is very important. So let's go fire it. Okay, so first I fire 8 darts of extra 12 volts standard, and then I'll try to fire the other 8 slam fire. So let's go. So, it has standard performance, and you didn't see one of the issues, but I will still talk about them. So let's start with the biggest problem. It broke. But how? It still works. Well, yeah, I was able to fix it. Thank God. But it still did broke. It still did break. The thing that happened is the catch slipped. Very easy fix. I just opened it up, put the catch back in, and it worked. Then it broke again. Then I fixed it again, it worked, and then it broke again. And now I fixed it and added some glue and it works kind of. Let me show you. So, standard works perfectly. For example, if I were to put in the other one and prime it, or if I were to use the other hand, well, it works then. And for some reason it's working. What the hell? Just a second. Found it. Putting in the other one. Now when I prime, see that? Listen. Okay. It's not catching for some reason. And on this side, perfect. On this side, most of the times, no. So yeah, pretty done. At least it works for some time. But yeah, that is one of the big problems. The other one, when I slam fire, sometimes it skips. If you didn't catch that, it didn't rotate 2 times when I was firing. Or one. Nevertheless, it sometimes just doesn't rotate, which is a big problem. I don't like it. But it's still not a huge problem. So you can fix it, you can put better internals, so it's honestly not a horrible blaster. For kids, it's a big, not that big, but it's pretty big, sniper kind of thing. So you could give it to a child, they'll like it. So if you just want a cool looking blaster, yeah, sure, buy it. If you have half-length blasters, I don't know, this probably isn't the blaster for you, but if you find it on sale or for a good price that you feel like it's worth, then go ahead and get it. For the price I got it, wasn't really worth it, but I still do like it. The attachments are pretty cool, it looks cool, it's comfy, and if it breaks, you can always fix it. So, pretty decent blaster, not the best. I surely sweat a lot because of these blasters. Compared to how many times I had to fix it, every time I just was so sweaty. The first time I had to do it with my mother. After that I was smart enough to do it by myself, but yeah. It works fine. Okay, now if you haven't noticed, I already filmed a video or a review for that with the updated thumbnail. Now I'm just doing it again because, well, there are a bunch of things I missed in those videos. They were just experimental at the time. The thumbnails, the resolution of the picture of me and the blaster was really low, and I now have a mic. Now that does not mean I'll do every single one. I think I'll do it up to the Meteor, the KS Meteor, or up to the Volt, or the Volt and the actual Flux. I'll not do those, I think. Or the Fang, somewhere around that. The Volt was my last review that was actually like a good resolution, so I'll maybe do the Flux and everything before it, you know, just to have some greater resolution thumbnails. But yeah, maybe I'll do every single one that I didn't do with the microphone because I just have so very little blasters. But yeah, my name is Nixie and there will be definitely a gaming video coming out in a week or two. Although that's pretty unpredictable because it's the end of the month and there will be Christmas holidays and I have a ton of tests, so yeah. Anyways, my name is Nixie and bye bye.